Our final speaker today is a mother and a doula. Her name is Virginia Maddock. Round of applause for Virginia.
I'd love an over.
Hi, I'm Virginia Maddock. I'm a doula and I'm a mother and volunteer for Home Birth Access Sydney. As a doula, I know firsthand what can happen in the hospital system. I've seen obstetricians work against evidence-based practice and want to induce women who are trying for a VBAC, which is totally against safety. I've seen women in the hospital with a change of shift, with midwives coming halfway through a woman's labour, with totally different birthing philosophies, which change the outcome of the birth. And I've heard stories of women coerced into unnecessary medical interventions when they don't dilate on time, even though they're babies and they are happy without stress. So when I got pregnant, it was a no-brainer that I was going to have a home birth with a privately practicing midwife in the comfort and safety of my own home. The continuity of care that I had was gold standard. Every antenatal appointment I had was in my own home. It took between 1 and 2 hours over a cup of tea. There was no waiting in a hospital ward for an hour to see an obstetrician just for 15 minutes. The relationship I had with my midwife was awesome. She demonstrated time and again her trust in my baby and my body to birth naturally. When I chose to have no ultrasound scans, when my body was unengaged and posterior at 13 days overdue, and when it took 3 hours to push out my baby in second stage. If I had been in hospital, there's no doubt in my mind I would have been pushed into an induction. And if that didn't lead to a caesarean, then my vagina probably would have been cut and my baby would have been extracted from me using forceps or a vacuum. But my midwife was patient and she trusted in my ability to do it. If this proposed legislation goes ahead with the amendments pushed forward by the AMA, women will have more rights to abort their babies than to birth with whom they choose and where they choose. They won't have the choice that I did to birth at home. They won't have the choice to have no ultrasound scans, or to have a natural birth after a previous caesarean, or a breech birth, or labour without being hooked up to a machine that goes bing, or be allowed to go overdue more than 10 days. They'll be forced to have an obstetrician who's probably never seen a natural birth from start to finish make decisions which are not based on evidence but on fear and convenience for him or her. In 1891, the Australian Labor Party was formed, and in 1894, women won the right to vote. Now, 116 years later, women again need to stand up for their rights to self-determination. We need to fight this Labor government, and we need to fight the AMA who is behind this legislation, because they want to control women's bodies. And we need Tanya Plibersek, the Minister for the Status of Women, to hear our united voice and represent our choice. But this is not only a women's rights issue, it's a human rights issue. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Virginia. So that just about concludes the rally. Do we know if Tanya's in her office? No, she's not, unfortunately. Okay, so apparently there's been a meeting today with her advisor. I'm sure you can find her email address online. Feel free to tell her your thoughts. Make sure you stay engaged, stay angry, and keep on fighting this very noble fight. We're going to finish today with a song from Francesca. Round of applause for Francesca, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. It's my body and I'll fight to keep it mine. My body and I'll fight to keep it mine. My heart, my hands, my blood, my spine. This is my body and I'll fight to keep it mine. These are my words, they're staying in my mouth. These are my words, and they're not staying in my mouth. My thoughts, my feelings, hopes and doubts. These are my words, and they're not staying in my mouth. My choices, you can take them as they are. My choices, you just take them as they are. I make them knowing that they'll take me far. These are my choices, you can take them as they are. My body, and I'll fight to keep it mine. My body, I'll fight to keep it mine. My heart, my head, my blood, my spine. My body, and I'll fight to keep it mine. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesca. Once again, it's a quick round of applause for everyone who's spoken today. I think the fight's in good hands. Thank you very much for coming. Enjoy the remainder of your day.